where the hell, let's start with Angel. Let's start with Angel because I haven't watched this yet, and I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh, here we go, right here. Angel's Law, an unstoppable force in motion, stays in motion, especially in the paint. Your team's about to learn physics the hard way. The team is 9-30. Oh, but the sky is not.
Angel Reese came into the WNBA with hype bigger than the Chicago skyline. Nicknamed the Bayou Barbie, she was marketed as the kind of player who could shift a franchise's fortunes overnight. But what happens when the hype collides head-on with reality? What happens when a star realizes that rebounds and bravado don't guarantee success and that the professional game exposes flaws no social media campaign can cover? Right now, Angel Reese is learning that lesson the hard way, and her second season in Chicago has spiraled into something closer to a cautionary tale than a success story.
I need to give a shout out to Angel Reese. Angel Reese is just a workaholic. She just gets down to business. And I love that attitude of her.
What? Excuse me? Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. WNBA media is so desperate to make Angel Reese a huge star. Their level of desperation is so high. They want you to accept her so badly that they're actively celebrating failure?
The Chicago Sky, once seen as a proud franchise that lifted the WNBA trophy just a few seasons ago, now finds itself buried at the bottom of the standings. A 9-30 record isn't just disappointing, it's embarrassing. And for Reese, it's a nightmare scenario.
The Sky fans are blaming Tyler Marsh for Angel Reese losing the game at the free throw line and ruining the Chicago Sky's chances of really cutting the lead down to 1 and giving themselves a chance to keep playing and try to get an upset in Phoenix. Angel played a hell of a game, 15 points, 20 rebounds. We cannot poo-poo that. You definitely balled, but we got to get to this controversy. She choked the game away at the free throw line, and the fans are blaming.
Second, but just think about what Cynthia Cooper just said. She can't celebrate Angel Reese's accomplishments on the court because they don't exist. She can't celebrate the Chicago Bravado because they're arguably the worst team in the league. So WNBA media is trying to elevate Angel Reese and her dozens of aliases by complimenting her attitude? I don't give a shit about her attitude.
She was supposed to be the cornerstone, the foundation for a new era. Instead, she's trapped on a sinking ship, struggling to prove she's more than just a stat patter with a strong Instagram presence. This is not just about losing games, it's about a franchise falling apart from the inside. Just 4 years removed from celebrating a championship parade, Chicago has been voted by WNBA players as the league's worst-run organization. Think about that for a second. Not just media critics or disgruntled fans, but the very players who share the court calling your team a dumpster fire. That's not just dysfunction, that's a reputation you can't shake easily.
Go.
Warning, the following footage contains an unstoppable force.
The pass. Stolen, Angel Reese.
A force in the paint.
This is what Angel does so well.
A force on the boards.
One of the most prolific rebounders our game has ever seen.
A force all over the court.
For a dagger of Angel Reese.
Angel Reese is a force, and your team is a very movable object. Viewer discretion is advised.
That's just Angel being Angel.
Welcome to the W.
Come on now. You know that's false advertising. Y'all false advertising. Where's all the missed layups at? Where's all the offensive rebounds that get put back off?
On paper, Reese still fills up the stat sheet. She averages a double-double, pulling down rebounds with a relentlessness that made her famous at LSU. But winning isn't about piling up rebounds. It's about impact. The uncomfortable truth? The Sky are barely any better with her on the floor. Her turnover rate has ballooned, her shooting efficiency has dropped, and the eye test shows a player who hasn't adapted her game to the professional level.
We have Chicago Sky fans blaming Tyler Marsh for Angel Reese missing a free throw at the end of this game to keep the Chicago Sky within striking distance versus the Phoenix Mercury. She asked, do I miss this free throw or do I make it? The fans are saying that Tyler Marsh told her to miss this free throw. Tyler Marsh said the complete opposite. He threw her all the way under the bus. Let's stop playing games. He threw her all the way.
I have a take on Angel Reese that I'm sure will trigger a bunch of people.
Let's hear your take.
But I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit.
Man, as much as I want to disagree with Jason, man, but I got to admit, I think you're right. And I want to disagree.
Critics point out that her success at LSU came in a system designed to highlight her strengths while hiding her weaknesses. In the WNBA, there's nowhere to hide. Defenses are sharper, rotations are quicker, and limitations are exposed fast. The stats don't lie. Reese's game, heavy on hustle but light on skill development, has yet to translate into consistent team success.
Sykes put out an Instagram post, and she ended it with like, P.S. It was something along the lines of like, P.S. taking things into your own hands. So basically, she made it clear she wanted out, like that she either asked for a trade or demanded a trade. However, if you guys didn't see it, the end of it was like, obviously it was something like that. Angel Reese, heavy on the PS. Like, it does make it sound like, I mean this makes it sound like she is absolutely...
Social media has become her loudest stage, where cryptic posts hint at dissatisfaction and looming departures. We might not all be together next year. Making decisions for yourself is liberating. Those aren't the words of a player locked in on building a franchise. Those are the words of someone already packing mentally. The problem with playing out your frustrations on Instagram and Twitter, the locker room notices. Teammates notice, coaches notice. And once a player starts treating their brand like the priority over the team, chemistry unravels quickly.
So Angel Reese, the most toxic player in all of basketball, is out here slapping clipboards out of her coaching staff's hand because she's so mad her team committed a foul in the crunch after she shot 15 free throws this game. This is the lowest of the low disrespect that you can show to your coaching staff. She trying to get y'all locked in, worried about the next play, and you so toxic with your terrible, awful attitude that you slap the clipboard out of her hand. Why do you guys hate Angel Reese so much? The Angel Reese hate is so forced. This is why.
Reports have surfaced of strained relationships between Reese and her teammates. The most damning evidence came during games. Teammates flat out refusing to pass her the ball, letting shot clocks expire rather than feed her in the post. That isn't strategy, that's silent protest. Then came the public call-outs. Veteran Elizabeth Williams didn't mince words when she said the team had to value possessions more while sitting right next to Reese, who leads the league in turnovers. It was a thinly veiled shot at the supposed franchise player. When teammates start airing frustrations publicly, it's a clear sign the chemistry is toxic beyond repair.
Angel Reese got a double-double, and the Chicago Sky, of course, celebrated said double-double. They lost 79-69. But my goodness, that didn't stop them, of course, from putting out this tweet right here. Player of the game. I mean, last time I checked, player of the games are usually for the winning squad, of which nobody on their team was part of. But they put this out, player of the game. And as you can imagine, people did point out that they lost said contest.
And then there was the viral moment. In the middle of a timeout, Reese slapped a clipboard out of an assistant coach's hands. In one clip, the entire narrative around her shifted from young star with growing pains to uncoachable diva. That's the type of behavior that destroys not only your reputation but your trade value. Just as the season began spiraling, Reese was suddenly sidelined with a vague back injury. Day-to-day, no clear diagnosis, no timeline, just endless speculation. Fans and insiders alike began asking the uncomfortable question, was this really about health, or was it a convenient way to disappear during a losing season?
Angel, just in terms of the league pace, you're in 11th in the table. The Mystics are ahead of you by 7 games. How much is the target to reel in Washington?
What do the Mystics got to do anything?
Thank you, everyone.
which will be nice.
Teams want to know if their star is fighting through adversity or checking out when things get rough. For Reese, the optics couldn't have been worse. Sitting out games while her team sank deeper into the standings gave critics more ammunition. Here was a player who folded when things got tough, a player unwilling to fight through the storm.
And last year, when the Sky drafted Angel at number 7, they traded the swap rights to their 2026 first rounder to the Lynx in exchange for the number 7 pick. And then this past draft, they go back to the Minnesota Lynx and they get the number 11 pick from the Lynx in exchange for their 2026 pick outright. Now, this is insane, obviously, because the Minnesota Lynx were literally never going to draft Angel. I think that was pretty clear on that night, too. And then it's like, girl, did you think that you were going to be a better team than Connecticut, Jeff? Why did you think it was a wise idea to give away the swap rights and trade them?
Here's where the story takes its sharpest turn. Reese's camp may believe she can force her way out of Chicago, but the market doesn't agree. League insiders say her trade value is complicated, not because of her contract, which is manageable, but because of the baggage that comes with it. Her numbers look decent on the surface, 14.6 points, 12.6 rebounds, but efficiency matters, turnovers matter, leadership matters, and when your own team statistically performs better when you're off the floor, front offices notice. Smart executives don't give up valuable assets for a player who brings drama without delivering wins.
You just never know. You just never know what's in players' minds, but this is what it seems like. That's the conclusion. That's a conclusion her own fans have jumped to that she wants out of Chicago. She said, P.S. Making decisions for yourself is a liberating feeling. And to be honest, it could be anything. It could literally just be her saying making decisions for yourself is a liberating feeling. It could have nothing to do with basketball. It could have to do with life. It could have to do with life. But it does... A lot of people are making the point that it sounds like she wants out of Chicago. And... Look, I wouldn't blame her.
This is the brutal truth Reese may soon face. The league isn't lining up for her. Playoff contenders don't want a locker room problem. Rebuilding teams don't want an expensive distraction. Her Queen of the Boards act might play well on social media, but in boardrooms where decisions are made, the hype doesn't outweigh the headaches.
You guys were down, plus Angel had the and-one opportunity. In that moment, was that a decision to have her miss, or just what was the thinking there in that scenario?
No, she asked if we wanted her to miss. I told her to make it. It would have only been a 1 or 2 point game. It'd been a one possession game anyway. So no, she just missed the free throw. It happens. So no.
She just missed the free throw. See that like y'all cannot just accept the fact the girl had a good game, 15 and 20, but when it mattered the most, she smoked it. She jagged it at the free throw line. It happens.
Adding salt to the wound is the emergence of players like Caitlin Clark. Clark, facing enormous scrutiny and relentless defensive attention, has risen to the challenge, shattering records while elevating her teammates. Where Clark thrives under pressure, Reese crumbles. Where Clark stays focused on improvement, Reese gets lost in feuds and branding. The contrast in mentality is glaring, and fans see it, executives see it, the entire league sees it. The most telling sign of Reese's fading shine is the silence. Normally, when a young star is even rumored to be available, the league buzzes. Speculation swirls. Insiders debate potential suitors. Fans dream up trade packages. But with Reese, crickets. No serious chatter, no rumored bidding wars, just silence. That silence speaks volumes. It says that despite her double-doubles and her name recognition, Reese isn't viewed as a game-changing piece. She's viewed as a gamble. And in a league with tight rosters and salary caps, gambles on attitude-heavy players rarely pay off. Perhaps the most brutal reality check for Reese is that Chicago isn't bending over backwards to keep her happy. The Sky aren't making desperation moves, aren't appeasing her demands. Instead, they seem resigned to the idea that maybe she isn't the answer they thought she was. When an organization begins looking beyond their so-called franchise player, the message is clear: the experiment failed.
And ever since y'all drafted the worst basketball player of all time, y'all have missed the playoffs for 2 seasons in a row, man. Because the goofy-ass slob, all she cares about is stat padding. So her stupid-ass fan base just talks about her numbers. She doesn't play winning basketball. She's a fucking goofy. And this is all y'all gonna ever deal with, man. Being eliminated from the playoffs, goofies.
The harsh reality is that Angel Reese's threats to leave Chicago might be empty bluster because the market for her services...
Angel Reese may get what she wants. She may force her way out of Chicago, but what she finds on the other side won't be the dream she imagines. Less media attention, fewer marketing opportunities, higher expectations for actual winning contributions. The grass isn't greener, it's harsher, more demanding, and less forgiving. In the WNBA's evolving landscape, players are judged less by their hype and more by their impact on winning. And right now, Reese's impact is questionable at best. She's discovering the uncomfortable truth. Rebounds and hashtags don't build legacies. Wins do. Aranzik Kurt. The Sky's collapse has become more than a bad season. It's a referendum on Angel Reese's ability to be a true cornerstone, the type of player championship teams build around. And that referendum, it's delivering a verdict Reese might not be ready to hear. The hype is fading, the excuses are gone, and the league is watching closely, taking notes on a player who may already have peaked before she even arrived.